What Happened This Week podcast. Just two best friends chatting in the trailer about all the things you are thinking about. Because you never know with Kim and Tricia.
Straight out the trailer! Woohoo! We're actually getting to open up a beer.
Cheers!
Woo!
Yeah, finally. 10 months waiting for this.
2 days for me. Well, who's counting?
Yeah.
I try to keep sober at least 2 days a week. At least, Sunday came and gone, and I'd like to have 2 sober days in a row, so I don't feel like an alcoholic.
I used to do the opposite. Like, I would drink 2 days a week. Like, this was back in the day when we used to do Wednesday weakness. And so I would, I'm drinking twice a week, and that was it. So if I drank on Wednesday with you, then I had to choose between Friday and Saturday. Stuff got complicated when we did Fun Day Sunday.
They did throw it for a loop, didn't
So
they?
then I had to change to 3 days. But I still had to choose between Friday night and Saturday night.
Well, I'm so glad you're so self-controlled enough to have those conversations.
That was a long
with
time
yourself.
ago.
Not me. Yeah.
That was a while ago.
I try to just, with nothing to do now in the camper, the RV, I should say. I feel like I have nothing but time, but to sit there and crack a beer.
Right.
So I had a conversation with someone the other night, and they wanted to know the difference between a trailer and an RV. And I truly believe there's a difference.
Oh, there's a huge difference.
Okay, you do? Good.
Girl, your RV, you can move at any time.
You got wheels.
It's got wheels.
Right.
A trailer is on blocks. Like, you got to call a company to put an axle on it with wheels.
That's right.
I mean, it's doable, but it costs you some money.
Right. I mean, they roll it in, and that's it.
And they take the axles off, and they put it on cinder blocks.
That's right. And I mean, if you're not so fancy, you might get a lattice, right?
Yeah,
you may
a little
not get
skirt.
a
Put a
little
skirt on
Put
her.
a skirt on, might be metal. But that's trailer.
Yes.
It's permanent.
Yes.
It's not going anywhere.
It's semi-permanent because you could put the wheels back on it cheaper than calling a excavating company or whatever, the moving company to move a house.
Right.
But yes, no, I mean, you are capable of moving in about 7 minutes right now.
You got it. So there is a difference between an RV and a trailer, for sure. And then there is also another level to a trailer, modular home. That is the bougie word.
Yeah, for trailer. And don't tell somebody who has a modular home they got a trailer, because you are insulting them.
I know, my aunt has one. And I'll tell you, her modular home, it is beautiful. I mean, it's built in a warehouse, let's be honest. I actually watched some TV show of them actually building them. It was pretty interesting, how they fabricate them and put them in. Those are the ones you see going down the road. It's oversized, and there's 2 of them on each tractor trailers.
Those aren't double wide trailers?
They could be double wide trailers, but you also will see the modular homes. So there is a difference, and they're pretty big and popular up in the north. Not so much here. I feel like I haven't seen as many modular homes here in Florida.
I don't know where they keep them, but there is that place on Monterey that sells them.
There is that small place, yes.
Yeah, that guy on the Fair Association, he owns it. He owns the modular home, because he was very insulted when I called it a trailer.
I know in North Carolina, when I have, where my family's from, what we see here for car lots is what you see for trailer lots up there. The modular home lots, yeah.
Really?
Like the one that's on Monterey, it's just that small little one. The ones I have come to see in North Carolina, they're car lot sizes. They're pretty big.
Right.
So, and I don't know if because there's more land opportunity probably in North Carolina, where it's more up to get, because you don't see a lot of modular homes because of the hurricanes here too.
Yeah, that was my thing, because that was what I was talking to this guy about with the insurance. The insurance company there's no difference between modular and mobile to them.
Right.
They
It's all metal,
They
right?
insure the same.
It's aluminum is what it is.
Exactly. It's aluminum, you put wood siding on the outside. I mean, it's the same concept.
Exactly.
Don't worry, buds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny when I watch TikTok videos and people are inside their homes. I'm like, that is so a trailer. Because I grew up in one, so I know what it's like.
Exactly.
You can see the inside, the
paneling.
paneling.
I know the wall. I know what that wall is.
Yeah, you know what that trailer wall is.
Uh-huh.
So I had to have that conversation. So there is a difference. So I live in an RV.
Yes.
I don't live in a trailer.
Exactly.
I live in an RV park,
Yes,
not a trailer park.
Yes.
So I have to make that clarification. However,
You call it trailer park life, but it is RV park.
that is correct. There's nothing permanent there. We're all coming and going. And I have to say, So I need to count how many lots there are. I'm going to do that. I'm going to task myself with that when I'm walking the dogs to find out how many.
Well, your lot number
29.
So at least 29.
I know there's 29 exactly, but then they have like 17Y and 17B.
Oh, okay.
And actually, Erin, shout out to Erin. I know she listens to the podcast. Her brother is moving in to Florida Days, so I'm gonna
show him the neighborhood.
I'm gonna show him. I'm gonna bring him my fruit basket.
Show him the wash house.
I'll show him the wash house. It's only open between 7 and 9 o'clock at night. But I have had an emotional turmoil.
Oh.
You know, you're as I'm in my lot. You know, I haven't really become friends with anyone. I've just said hi, how are you? You know, walking the dogs and stuff. I haven't really become friendly. I've only been there a week.
Like, do you want to?
Maybe. I'm kind of bored.
Were you friends with your neighbors at your house?
Yes. Well, kind of, sort of. Yeah. Brittany and I we weren't hanging out all the time.
James.
That's James Hall Pass. Yes, exactly. We had to go by and see them. But when campers leave, I have this sadness. Like, these people leave.
They got out.
They got out. Like, the lot's empty because it's
How did you do it?
This concrete slab,
yeah.
and there was an RV there. Like, I knew what time they woke up. Like,
there
I knew
were souls in that spot.
I know what their grill smelled like. You know, it's like, and then I come out today and there's one gone, and I'm so sad.
But don't make friends because they're gonna leave soon.
I know.
You gotta find the ones that put a skirt on.
There is a few that have a lattice.
For a while.
There's a few that have a lattice, but I couldn't believe, like, the emptiness that I felt, and I don't even know these people. Isn't that weird? I mean, it's real life emptiness, and I'm like, what's wrong with me? I'm having an emotional attachment. I think it's because it's the layout of the land. You know, it's like, you know, it's just different. So
that's all I got right now.
That's all I got. That's all I got. So, you know, I've realized storage is a necessity, and I've become very frugal and thoughtful about how I store things.
Right.
So that's exciting. The wash house, you know, I took a shower in the shaved my legs because I can't shave my legs in my current shower.
You gotta shave because you never know, girl.
Because you never know. We were supposed to go on the boat and we didn't, but I shaved my legs, and I will tell you, I lived it up in the shower house. I did keep my flip-flops on because I needed shower shoes. I didn't have any.
Hey, I've been shaving, and let me tell you what, I can see things I haven't seen in a long time.
Is it still there?
Woo! I've cleaned that rig up. Like,
is it all fancy now?
It's all fancy. It's so much better.
Listen. That's what got you in trouble the first time, or the second time, and the third time.
6 weeks, not to worry. That's what the nurse.
6 weeks, okay. Well, you're snipped, right? So you're not snipped, but you're cut.
I'm sterilized. But I will say, when I went in for my C-section, and the nurse was getting me prepped or whatever, and she came out with the razor, and she's like, "Let me just take a look." I was like, "All right, I'm really sorry. Like, I hadn't seen that thing in a while." She's like, "Oh no, you're pretty good actually. They didn't have to shave me at all."
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, all right, I've been doing my best, you know.
Shit, they'd have to bring a chainsaw in with mine. You
know what I think saved me was that we had gone to Mike and Shannon's and gone swimming the week before.
Okay.
So I had to do some kind of maintenance to, like, and I even tell them, I'm like, it's the best I got. So if you see something, I'm really sorry, but it's the best I got at this point.
That's
like,
all I got.
You know, but yeah, so I think I've lost like 25 pounds
really?
in the last 10 days.
It's because you're breastfeeding too.
Yeah, so, you know, I mean, well, when I had Reagan, I lost a lot of it just in delivery because everything comes that way.
Right.
This has been different. And I bought, like I showed you, I bought that girdle.
Yes.
I didn't have that last time, and I read a lot about using them, and especially for C-section because it really helps, like, with that, with muscles and whatnot. So I bought one. So, like, day 2 in the hospital, I was like, all right, I probably gotta put this on because it said to put it on as soon as you can, you know. So I'm like, come on, Jason. He's like, I think you need a different size.
Well, it's a girdle, it's supposed to be tight.
That's what I said, right?
Yes.
So he's like, okay, like it's not like he's like there's like an inch in between the sides. I can't get it to Velcro.
Pull.
That's what I said. So, like, there's, like, the elastic in the front, so I pulled the elastic in the front, so it gave more slack, like, in the back, and he was, like, it was, like, barely hanging on. One wrong move, and it was gonna, like, take the window out or something. But, like, he put it on today, he's like, baby, he's like, man, it's crazy, like, how much it's changed.
It's changed, the given, yeah.
Like, in the last
I had to
10
wear
days.
the girdle whenever I had the
tummy
tuck and the C-section,
really?
because it just something with the muscles, it just keeps them conformed, and you want them to pretty much, like, fuse back together. It's what you're hoping for, right?
Exactly. I told Jason, I'm like, everything's looking all right, but I got this little hangover thing going, and I'm not quite sure that's going to go away.
That's what I got mine cut off.
I know.
That's a poochy pooch.
But, you know, after all this, I just don't know that I'll go under. I don't know if I could do it.
It's major. I mean, like I don't know. Like, I would tell you, they're almost in the same boat, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I would say C-section was not as. I would take a C-section over a tummy tuck.
Yeah.
So give it some time. When you do,
Yeah.
let's give it like a couple years. We'll go do
No.
the mommy makeover.
Girl, I'll start wearing one pieces. I don't
Yeah,
care. Like,
that's okay.
I just, I'm getting old. I'm old anyway. I'm 41 this
Yeah, that's
year.
right.
Like, I don't need to wear no teeny bikini.
That's right. You can wear a UAM.
I'm wear a cute little one piece or something.
They got the two pieces that meet together with a little skirt.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what
they
I
got
wear?
cute one pieces,
Yeah.
But I was like, first of all, I won't go under general. So unless I convince Dr. Giloff to do a spinal and do it, which I don't think he ever will consider for that, not getting it done anyway.
Yeah.
I won't go under.
Yeah.
I don't do well with anesthesia.
come back from it well?
Not even the spinal did I do well. I was so sick. They gave me 2 different types of nausea medicine because it was that bad. Like, I wasn't gonna make it. Like, throwing up, and the last thing I want to do was throw up. I got 2 young kids. It's just not worth it
Right.
for vanity.
Right.
Now, if somebody said, like, you gotta lose your kidney or something because you got a problem, then yeah, we'll talk about it. Okay, yeah.
Would you give me your kidney if I needed it?
Of course I would.
Okay, you go under for that?
Yes.
Okay. Because you can function with one kidney.
Yes, of course I would, but that's different, not vanity of I want to look better at 41.
What if we're getting a group on 2 for 1?
I'll pay my half and you can still have yours.
Okay. You never know. I might convince you in a couple of years.
No, like I used to be a different person, and I would still be somebody else's biggest cheerleader for whatever they want to do to make themselves feel better. I just think I've entered a different stage in my life. My husband is really, really, really supportive and amazing, and never makes me feel like I'm not beautiful.
Right.
So if he loves me,
Then what does it matter?
then why am
That's
I?
right.
Why am I trying? Like, don't be wrong, I'm gonna work out.
Sure.
You know what Mike told me? He's like, well, you're never gonna have a 6-pack abs again. I said, and why not? He's like, no, you can't have it. They cut you. I said, yes, I can. I said, I mean
They do cut your stomach muscle. It is hard. You're going to have to work
I'm like,
super uber hard to get a 6-pack.
I was like, hold on. It's possible. Doesn't mean I'll ever get one.
Right. I've seen miracles. I've seen people on YouTube, and they've got like 60-year-olds on the
I'm
National
not going to have a
Enquirer.
6-pack because I'm too lazy.
That's right. You ain't hitting them ding-dongs no more, are you?
No, what I started to do, because I still have a craving for sweets, which is not my style. I'm a salty person usually, but hormones must want me salt. Is I'm trying to replace like any of my sugary snacks, like cookies or whatever, with fruit.
Okay. That's good. Good choices.
Blackberries were on sale at Publix this week. They were BOGO.
Okay.
Even the organic ones, and they're really good.
I had a really good blackberry sangria. I didn't think I'd like. You said blackberries. I was like, I didn't think I would like blackberries, but I had a blackberry sangria. Where did I have that at? Oh my goodness, Outback.
Oh, okay.
It was really good. I'll never forget that. I need. You said that blackberries.
That's it. Whenever you get a house, or my house is done, whichever comes first.
I don't know.
Whatever.
The jury's out.
Yeah.
Let's draw for straws.
We should do like a drink. I saw one, like an Instagram follower. They did like a drink concoction, each one of them, like her and her friend. And she like muddled like blackberries. And put it in like with a Truly.
Okay.
Like a berry Truly and muddled and like put a little mint in there. Like we should make drink concoctions and like sit by. I hope I have a pool.
Maybe I'll have a pool.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe I'll be in an RV park that has a pool. We'll figure it out.
So at some point we should do like some kind of drinking contest or some kind of drink making contest,
I
not
like that.
drinking contest. But
someone told me one time that they went to a party of mine and I made the best sangria, and I am still trying to figure out, one, I made it. I don't remember making sangria, and two, what did I do to make it with? And
what party? I wasn't there.
It was like a Pampered Chef party.
Oh, okay. You're selling something on a pyramid scheme?
I was hosting a party. I wasn't
Okay.
selling it. Believe that or not. But they said I made it, but I still think that I may have bought that bottle of like sangria and just put fruit in a jar. I think.
That bottle's pretty good.
Somebody
though.
said to me, "You made the best sangria." I'll never forget. They said that to me.
Right.
I'm like, I made sangria. And I just don't remember that.
One time my friend Leslie was like, oh, if I ever have wine that goes bad, I just make sangria. I said, you didn't drink a whole bottle?
What's up with that?
And she goes, oh, no. And by I have wine that goes bad, I was probably the third bottle of the night I had opened and couldn't drink it.
Okay.
And by the next day, you're like, oh, God, I don't want any wine.
No.
I'm going to vomit. And so then it went bad. And then by the next day, she felt better. The wine was bad. She made sangria.
That's not a bad idea.
No.
That makes actually, like, you repurpose your wine.
But if you buy it in a box, it doesn't go bad.
It doesn't go bad, you're right. And rarely, I mean, I have a bottle. I actually fell into an issue where I had a bottle of wine, when I was moving, and I didn't have a wine opener. So I took not the cork out, obviously, but I took the wrapper off. But it reminds me of a bottle of wine at the camper that I need to drink.
If you don't have an opener, you can always take a pen and then a book, or you can knock the cork in.
Take a pen, stick it in, and then take a book?
And hit it down.
Damn, I wouldn't have known that.
And Jason taught that to me.
First of all, you have to drink a lot of wine to be a MacGyver like that.
Well, Jason did it. It's his thing. We were on our first out-of-town trip to Philly together. This was like 6 years ago, obviously. And we had a bottle of wine. We get all the way to the room. And you're like, ugh. And so, not sure what book he used, but you're in a hotel room.
It wasn't the Bible. Well, Jesus did make water into wine.
I'm not sure. I think it may have been like a tourist book. Like
you better hope so. You better pray about that.
It did like splash a little bit, and wine it looked like there had been blood, because I like red wine. So
cheese and rice.
Yeah, it's a sacrament.
That's funny. I can't believe. I don't know which book it was. It was the damn Bible. It was the only Bible.
Jason wouldn't do that.
The only one that has enough thickness to knock that cork in.
There was some
no judge.
It may have been like a binder in there,
that's
you know what I mean.
Maybe informational binder.
And that's why it was a little unsteady, so it spilled. But I wouldn't doubt he learned that trick in college or somewhere else and did use the.
Speaking of the hotel binder, do you ever sit on the bed and read through it?
Always.
I do too.
I'm like, oh, what's around here?
Right. Or what time is the office open? Or do they have a fax machine?
Yeah.
Or
where do they
read it? And I never understood. You can get your mail there. People long term. There's a lot of options on there. Or laundry to have someone. I've never. Well, I shouldn't say I did stay at a hotel long enough when I went to St. Louis to have to wash my own clothes. But but prior to that, I never had stayed at a hotel long enough to have them do my laundry. I always wondered how or why that was always in the book.
Yeah.
Guest laundry or that bag that comes in the hanger that says laundry. I use that as my dirty clothes bag.
Me too, duh, it's for laundry.
Hello, for me to take home.
Duh.
But who puts their laundry in there and then has housekeeping? And do you know something else I found out?
What?
Tell me if this is right or wrong. I'm really struggling with this because I feel like I've been doing it wrong my entire adult life. You're supposed to tip housekeeping.
So it's funny you say it. Not only in the hospital, they would leave us Jupiter Medical business cards with their house cleaning, the cleaner's name on it.
Really?
And I was like, do I And I don't feel like I should.
Did you Google that?
I didn't. By the time we left, and I realized I had found 2 of them in our room. Because, we were at the NICU, so we didn't, maybe, get to meet them. And the one lady handed it to me. And I doubt the hospital expects you to tip their staff.
You need to Google that. Because I Googled the hotel tipping of housekeeping. But that's a whole other layer. I would be interested to know if that's the reason they gave it to you.
Maybe. Here's the thing. When we stay in a hotel, whether we're there for a day or a week, we never have housekeeping come in.
So it depends. I'll usually put the do not disturb, right? And I get the Marriott points that if you keep that up there, then you're you're reusing your towels, and they give you points sometimes, right? So that's the reason I do it, because I'm want to get the points. But I also feel bad, and I don't want people in my room.
I don't want people.
But there have been times where I have had people in my room, for whatever reason.
Right.
And I just found out recently that you're supposed to tip housekeeping in anywhere between $3 to $5 per person per night.
First of all, here's the thing too. When I leave a hotel room, all of my trash is in the trash can or stacked nicely, around the trash can or on the desk right next to the trash can. I gather every towel we have used and I put them on the floor in the bathroom. I leave this room in a way that I hope when they come in limits the amount of time they have to spend in the room that we were just in.
Agreed.
Outside of stripping the bed, because I don't know what they strip down, so I'm not going to strip the bed and put it in a pile, because what if they don't take off the mattress cover or something? I don't know.
I don't want to strip the bed because I don't want to really know what I was sleeping on, to be honest with you. And I do put my cases of beer, and I do empty, and I stack them nicely.
I mean, Jason will take the trash out.
Yeah.
We stay here at the Marriott on staycation. He will go to the dumpster and take our trash out. And again, every single towel.
Because you got a lot of bottles in there. You need to throw them out.
We usually do, yeah. I mean, we're on a staycation, you know, or we may have gotten pizza or something and stayed in. But I always clean the room before somebody comes. I never, ever, ever leave it a mess.
We should do a show about that. the strangest things that expect
we should have
a tip.
somebody that works in the Marriott or something come on.
Yeah. Because I really thought that's, like, not that I'm a world traveler by no means, but I have traveled. I've stayed in hotels. And there are times where I have them come in the room, depending on, like, my stay. If I'm there for a couple of nights, I want, fresh towels or whatever. Typically, I put the do not disturb sign, but, whatever. And I found this out recently, and I just felt like, I've seen the ladies that are outside the room with the, the
card.
The card and all. And I'm like, oh my gosh, these folks are supposed to be tipped this entire time. And then there was like this other thing I found that we don't have a bellhop or anything like that. I mean, I guess you could, depending on the hotel you're staying in.
Yeah, I mean, like, if we need towels, we call the bellhop.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we always tip.
Yeah.
When we went and we took the kids up to Gaylord.
Okay.
So
they have bellhops
They have
there.
bellhops, and we needed the crib for Reagan. We needed extra pillows for the kids. And it was like we had requested these things when we signed, like, booked the trip. So it was a little annoying that they weren't there. And then we had to keep calling for them. So it was like, do you continue to tip on something, like, because we called when the crib wasn't there, like, hey, we need the crib, we need extra pillows, whatever. And they came by different people at different times, like, because we had to call back.
Sure.
Like, at this rate, like, I know it's not the bellhop's fault, like, it's somebody at the counter, but if everything had come at one time, I would have given you one tip. You know what I mean? Like,
Kinda
I didn't know what to do. I mean, we tipped both times, obviously. We're here for a few days. I don't, if somebody, like, and we're not, like, it wasn't a huge tip. It was, like, $3. Like, the way we tipped the valet or whatnot, but it still was, like, like I said, like, if we need more towels, we'll always call the front office. We've gone and picked them up ourselves.
Sure. Yeah, me too.
So
I think we should do an episode on what is, like, something people expect a tip, or what is the appropriate tip. Right? For doing, like, picking up the car, the valet or things like that. I was just pretty floored by that, and I just felt, because I typically like to be a good tipper. Like, we were even at Outback not too long ago, and we had a gift card, so the majority of it was covered by the gift card, which was really nice. But I don't include the amount of the gift card that I put
for your tip,
for my tip.
Yeah, right.
Like, it's on the entire purchase, right? That's the 20% or whatever.
I have gotten, like, when I handed the gift card to the server, like, a roll of the eyes and a huff and puff before, and I'm like, we haven't even gotten a tip yet, lady.
You
Hold on.
You don't know what's about to happen.
Exactly.
I'm respectful of the gift card.
I'm tipping on the $150. Not to worry. I know $100 coming off in a gift card. I'm not tipping you on $50. Pump the brakes.
Right, exactly. But see, I think people do that.
Yeah.
I think that people generally do that, and I think that's where. So we got to find the faux pas on stuff like that, because that is. I try to be a good tipper, because I was a server back in the day, and I know that that's not an easy job, and I just thought to myself, have I been doing this wrong this entire time with housekeeping?
No.
I feel like a jerk face, so I gotta do some research on that.
Well, I told you, like, we call our pizza place, and they are just like, they know what we want, and it's always like, it could be a Friday or Saturday, and we have it within 20 minutes, but we tip well.
Yes.
I mean, like, on pizza delivery, it's a $10 tip.
Easily. Well, yeah, you're out here in the farms.
Yeah.
It's a travel.
And I mean, we have a $30 order and a $10 tip. I mean, that's pretty good tip to the pizza driver.
Yeah, absolutely.
That kid.
I wonder if the pizza delivery comes to the RV park.
Of course they do.
Oh, so the trailer hood. I need to correct myself. RV park. Mm-hmm. I saw Amazon.
You told me that.
Yeah, I saw Amazon. Mm-hmm. I still have my packages going to Kelly's, just because, and I have a few going to Joe's. Thanks, Joe. I have my beauty counter, Elise. Whoop, whoop.
Did you reorder?
I did reorder. She actually she messaged me and said, "Hey, they're having a
sale."
Yeah,
I gotta order.
So I was like, "All right, James needs some facial stuff." So I got James.
They got a new foundation I want to try.
I got Taylor some foundation, some touch-up foundation that she wanted to try. She really loves their acne spot-on treatment, and with being a teenager,
I'll give you that. Gavin doesn't use it anymore.
Really?
So I told him to back off some of it, like he has the whole kit. I told him to back off the toner and back off, like, the moisturizer. Because, like, for me, I can't use a toner or a moisturizer. It clogs and it makes it worse.
Yeah.
And so he's like, well, I also stopped the spot treatment and everything got better. And then I told him, we'll start introducing one at a time and see which one is causing the issue. But, he knows. So he doesn't. Yeah. He doesn't need it. So he can give it to Taylor.
Yeah, he can totally. So I got that for Taylor. Then I got me the overnight peel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it was normally like 100 and something, or maybe no.
Probably like 70.
No, maybe it was like 70, but it's on. So I got that. So I'll be, glowing at night. I do nothing but time to look beautiful, the camper. And I got James some facial cream. The men's line, I got him something because he needs time with moisturizer. So super excited, but I have that coming too. With some of it's Taylor's.
So you sent it all to Joe's.
Sent all to Joe's. I did have I have some Paper Chef going to Joe's too. I was like, if I send stuff to your house, that doesn't mean that I'm taking up permanent residency. Look when I get my mail there.
Yeah.
And I have a P.O. box, and I'll tell you what's really cool with the P.O. box. I registered for this free service through the post office. They actually scan your mail, so I get an email. And I know what's in the box.
So you have to do I go or do I
Why
not
go? Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I maybe go once a week if that. So that's a pretty cool little service. So, who knew?
Yeah.
Exactly. And I never get a lot of mail anyways.
But
but you have to have a permanent address or a physical address.
Right.
Like your bank, they do not honor a P.O. box.
That makes sense. So we can't change your address and steal your identity.
So I'm at 1070, Florida Days, lot 29.
Well, you could go to like the UPS store and they give you a physical address.
So does the post office. However, they got hip to the game and they recognize that that's not either. Somehow they have the physical post office address. I have that too.
Right.
And they said that that's not honorable and they don't do it for UPS or like the FedEx stores. I guess they got hip to the game because people were trying to do that. But why? What's it matter?
Somebody's there to take my package, especially the UPS store.
It's a physical person. Or I don't understand what's the big deal. I don't I mean, but my bank and two of my credit cards are the ones that have said I couldn't have it.
Like for us, like the lady that did the survey on our property, she uses the UPS store.
Okay.
So you go, we had to pick up like stuff, like she had printed out the survey and dropped it off there. Mm-hmm. And then when we went there, you said, I'm here for such and such, and the lady gave it to us. Mm-hmm. So it works as like a desk person for her as well. And then we mail her, she invoiced us, we mailed her the check to her, that address and her box number.
Yeah.
And just,
And they have services like that. They wear they have it, I almost considered it for a very short hot minute, that Regency, which is over there, over the Treasure Coast, or the bridge to the left.
Yes.
That's like a 3-story office complex.
Yeah, my girlfriend works there.
So they rent out executive suites,
and
or
desks.
they rent out desks, or they just give you a physical location with the receptionist that sits there, and you can utilize her services.
Yes.
And it's pennies.
Yeah.
But I know that with me working from home, and I hate working from home, especially in the camper.
At least you have somewhere to go.
Yes, so I have structure in my life, and I thought about it.
Was
I looked
expensive?
It was like $89 a month. Which isn't awfully expensive, but the thing is I have offices that I can go and work in.
Oh,
so I don't know. I just want it, but I don't necessarily get a lot of work done when I go to those offices because I'm talking. Yeah. So, but that's like a service. So I'm not shocked that UPS has that because it just makes sense for people,
right?
In the business who are traveling,
turnkey, ready to go.
Oh
yeah.
And it's expensive to rent. A commercial building, I imagine.
Well, and it works well too. If you want a satellite office, it gives you a local phone number.
Right.
So if you were I'm going to be an insurance agent in Orlando, you get that, and so it has a local phone number for people think they're calling a local agent, and it can be oh, okay, and somebody answers, okay, I'll take your information, they'll call you back. Right. And you can call them from Stuart, Florida.
Yes, that's true. It's pretty crafty if you think about it.
Heck yeah.
Definitely. Well, it's definitely been an eventful week for me, I have to say. Week 1 is down, and then I've got, next week, is, they say 21 days. After 21 days, it's a habit.
Yes.
So I hope I get over 21 days and I become familiar with RV life. I did cook in my crock pot tonight, so I was super excited about that.
I didn't think about that. That's good.
I had to because, I don't like to cook, so I'm like, if I can make it all hodgepodge together,
You didn't make that weird chicken thing again, did you? Remember?
No, but this one's called cracked chicken, and I like to make my crack dip, so it kind of works with the cracked chicken. It actually came out pretty darn good. So, yeah, James liked it, so... Not the healthiest meal, but it works, I do have to be very mindful of what I buy at the grocery store. I used to go to the grocery store and, I buy a good amount.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go back.
I don't want to go back, especially right now with COVID-19. Yeah. We're having a spike. There was an article, I shared it with my boss actually. There was an article that was written by the CEO of Cleveland Clinic of the Indian River Division and Martin County, and oddly enough, that's my area, and he compared that Martin County has had such a huge spike in cases that it's the largest amount of spike compared to Broward County in South Florida.
It's critical. There's this website that you can track how serious COVID is in your area. And
it's a no joker.
No,
for sure.
It's no joke. It says,
and it's pretty big. It's pretty significant when you have the CEO of a hospital who's coming out to say it's serious.
So it's covidactnow.org, and you can put in your county or zip code. So Martin County is considered critical because our ICU headroom available is being used right now. 76% of the ICU is being used for COVID cases. So, like, the hospital is overloaded at this point.
Right.
The infection rate is higher than, like, it's high. So, like, you're only supposed to have, like, an infection rate of, like, whatever, and this is at 1.18 as the infection rate. And,
Interesting.
So the critical part comes from the hospital, like from the beds or whatever, but everything else is
by the health department
is high. You know, like the positive test rate, along with the infection rate, they're high. So like the positive test rate, 17.5%, it actually says it indicates insufficient testing.
Right.
And not enough people are being tested.
Right.
Because like if the other numbers, then there's not enough.
Sure.
So.
It's pretty crazy. So it's kind of like we've scaled back a little bit, you know, with just, I'm not going out in the field, obviously. It's just, you know, just not even an option, which sucks because therefore I'm working from home. But it's definitely different when, you know, when the hospital, the CEO comes out and, you know, makes a statement like that. It's pretty significant. So
well, Jason knows that he's in the ICU on a ventilator right now, and it's not looking good.
Really?
And he's like in his early 30s.
I know someone who I used to work with who tested positive. And so she texts me. Like, I've never known anyone. You hear about people. I didn't know anyone. And she texted me and said that she tested positive. And she said, there's nothing they can give me. She said her fever finally broke 4 days. She's in another area of Florida. And she's just making the best of it.
Yeah, this guy, he's got twin daughters that are a little younger than Reagan. They were pregnant at the same time as us, but they went earlier because of the twins or whatever. But,
how did he catch it?
His mom.
Really?
And they all live together. He lives with his mom, him and his wife, and his mom, whatever. So everybody got it.
So where was mom at?
She never ended up in the hospital, but him and his wife were both in the hospital. His wife got out, I guess, but he's still there.
So there's this new job opportunity that's popped up because of COVID. It's called a tracer. You have to look it up.
To find out who they came in contact with.
They're getting anywhere between $20 to $30 an hour. And there's not much requirements necessary. All you're doing is calling people, because it's public knowledge, well, not to us, but it is public knowledge because the health department collects that data, and they call them and find out who and where and how have you been. And it's all over the world. And then the government is paying these companies to top dollar to track this stuff down. It's a new opportunity that just popped up. I mean, if you look at tracers, like, it's just, kids are like out of college wanting to do it. I mean, you're making $20 to $30 an hour. Some of them, the majority of them are contract positions. They only last until December. But if you're making the coin now, and that's what most people are doing.
No one knows how long this is going to go on for.
You don't know when some of them are offering health insurance, which leads me to believe that sometimes they might think that it's going to go on. So all you got to do is just call someone and say, hey, where were you at? Publix on Cove Road? Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
You know, which is scary too. You know, you think about it, like, I'm trying to keep my limitation of being exposed to anything. I mean, goodness, I wanted to come see Grady, and I even was going to go to the gym. I need to go to the gym, and my sister texted me last week. She's going to go to the gym. I said, nope, I got to see Grady. So I want to limit my exposure, and I'm going to North Carolina next week to see my grandma and my mom. So I was like, you know, just for that purpose, I just want to. I'm gonna sit in a camper all day and cry.
Exactly.
And then I'll
go ride your bike. You can ride your bike.
I can ride my bike, but just being mindful of that. You know, you just got to be super. But I did go to Publix. And I'm not in there long because I can't fit anything, because I can't buy anything, because I got my refrigerator is the size of what I'm looking at in your same size as yours. So it's, you know, I'm being more cautious of what I'm buying. Like bags of ice, we have a Ziploc bag, and we transfer ice from James's cooler to the Ziploc bag. So you just have to be, you know, I just have to be creative, I guess.
Exactly.
But I don't want to go in the grocery store often, and I find myself having to do that. So I'm repurposing things. Like we had burgers Sunday, so the buns I had left over I used for my crock pot thing. So I'm I'm trying to be because
then you could do like breakfast or dinner and make egg McMuffins with those. I mean, minus the McMuffin, I could do that a bun.
I could do that on the Blackstone. I could make eggs that fits 12.
Sloppy Joes. You could have done Sloppy Joes.
I could have done Sloppy Joes. I'm afraid to use the stove, so I do have the I have a really cool burner. Like it's got a temperature gauge, not the cheap one I bought from Amazon.
Right.
James's mom had a really cool one, so I could have done that.
Or you could have cooked up more burgers and crumbled it into your Sloppy Joe.
Yeah, didn't think that one through.
You use your bun. You could have had 2 meals out of one.
Yes, I need to do that next time.
See?
Yeah.
Thinking
I know. And you know what? If anything, if that's the good part, if it makes me, because I'm not a cook, so if it helps me be mindful about what I can cook and maybe be sparingly or repurpose, you know, and not spend a lot of money on groceries. Because if you think about it, if you go in your pantry, you have a lot of crap you don't need. It's stuff is expired.
I'm
You're
like,
never
the
gonna
Postal
use it.
Service is coming to feed the hungry. Give them those red kidney beans that have been in there for 6 months. Who bought those?
Exactly. You should have seen me when I cleaned up my pantry at the old house. I gave a lot of stuff to Kelly. I mean, a bunch of Chef Boyardee's.
Right.
And, yeah, I mean, definitely there's stuff that you have in your pantry that are expired and you never use because you find, like, cream of mushroom soup, like, you'll actually buy it, but you already have one in there. And so it's definitely the minimizing, and that aspect of this new adventure has been great. So.
Well, that's good. Everything's going good with us. Grady's still sleeping like a champ.
Oh my gosh, he is just like, he stretches, he opens
chill.
his eyes and just goes back to sleep. I want a life like that.
Oh my
Can
God.
I come? Can you hold me like that?
He's just so chill. Like, I hope he stays that way. I mean, Reagan's a little high strung, so
I think he will.
He's just easy. Like, we put him to bed at 8. We wake him up at 10 and feed him again.
You have to wake him up.
But we wake him up at 10 to power feed him. So we start power feeding about 6 p.m. So we do, instead of waiting for him to wake up. So we feed 6, 8, 10. And so we put him to bed at 8. We wake him up at 10 and feed him. And then he sleeps till like 2:30.
Can't beat that.
No. And then like 2:30, somewhere around there. And actually there's been times that I've woken up and he hasn't. I was like, well, I'm just going to wake him up now and feed him. I'm up. I don't want to fall back asleep and wake up again, you know. No. And then
have you played dead yet?
No. Because, Jason gets up and changes him and feeds him, and I pump.
Okay. So it's a group effort at that point.
Is.
It kind of has to be.
Because
one can't do without one.
Oh, my poor nipples.
You hurt?
Oh, my God. So
Did you put some lotion on them?
I got that stuff, yeah, and I put these, like, I put the pads.
Yes.
I don't tape them in. I just put them in because I call them my gumdrops. By the time I'm done, like, my nipples look like gumdrops from, going in the little tube. Like, but anyway, I had, like, a blister on one, like a milk blister. It happens.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, man, that sucks, you know. I took a shower, like, in the morning, that next morning. And I was like, oh, that milk blister was nothing compared to what the other one looked like.
Oh, my gosh, really?
I was like, oh, my God, like, I mean, because sometimes, like, I start slow on the pump, and then I have to ease into it. If not, I feel like someone's trying to twist my titty off.
Titty twister, scoop, scoop. Ow.
So, but I've been pumping so much.
That's why you're dropping a lot of weight, too.
Yeah, and I've been very, very, very religious with my pumping. I wasn't nearly as much with Reagan because I was packing and moving then.
Sure.
But I fill up 14 4-ounce bags I'm at a rate of every 2 days now.
You could sell that.
Well, my hope is that
liquid gold.
I could stop pumping at some point, and he's had enough to go to 1. You know,
can freeze it.
It's all frozen. So, so what I do is I always because I'm like, you know,
do you ever drink it?
No, I get like anxiety that I don't have enough, so I make sure he has enough bottles, and I start freezing everything.
Okay. What about put some chocolate syrup in there?
Oh,
give it a try.
Oh.
It has to be good if the baby likes it.
Well, he doesn't know any better.
People sell that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
on
I'll
Craigslist.
sell it if it keeps working, you know?
When
if
we
it keeps pumping.
I want you to look on Craigslist. People actually sell, because there are an underground world of mothers that breastfeed and they feel like, you know, it's the best thing, and I agree with that. Yeah. I could never do it, but they wanted to share their milk because they pump so much with other babies because they feel like it's the nutrients.
Well,
and
I told you about the crazy milk lady at the hospital.
No. Oh, yeah, you did. What happened? Remind me.
She's a nutcase, so...
You imagine having that job?
They're like a cult.
Yeah,
okay?
They are.
They're awful. I am sorry. If you're a lactation specialist, don't be a jerk face to a new mom, okay?
So I think they're trained to be jerks.
Jason's like, I don't know how they find these same people that are crazy.
I had it. Mine was a crazy bitch. I couldn't stand her.
I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Get her out of here.
So she came in, whatever. I had been like breastfeeding, but obviously Jason and I have made a decision again to pump because Jason's here when I get home. His mom is here. His dad is here. Everybody's here to help. And at some point, he's going to go to the babysitter. I can't leave work every 3 hours to feed my baby. Okay? Right. So he has to know how to take a bottle.
That's right.
And they can help me for crying out loud, right? She pulls up a chair right next to my bed. And she's like, well, let me educate you real quick.
Did you say bitch is on baby number 3?
I wanted to say, bitch, I'm 41 years old almost, and this is my 3rd baby.
Sit down.
Get out of my face. Like, I'm not telling you. Listen, I didn't say I'm feeding him formula. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
I'm just telling you I'm going to freaking pump it out of my boobie, okay?
Right.
I told Jason, I said, I should have lied to her.
Yeah.
I should have just said, oh, yeah, breastfeeding. Oh,
All
yeah.
day.
Like, what was wrong with me?
Look at my nipples. They look rough. Can't you tell?
I was like, what is wrong with me? Why didn't I just tell her that? But my concern was I needed, like, I brought my pump to the hospital. I needed, like, the little tiny things that collect colostrum, and then the syringes to feed him colostrum, because he can't take a bottle day one. So I needed that from that lady, or from the hospital. And she's like, I was like, I brought my pump. And she's like, oh, well, fine. She's like, you know what? No, I'm going to get you a pump. Whatever, lady. She's like, how old's that pump? I'm like, I said, well, obviously 2.5 years. That's I got it when I had Reagan. She's like, well, it's probably not any good. I was like, well, why wouldn't it be any good? And she's like, it's as a motor, everything goes bad. I have been using the pump every day for 2.5 years. I stopped using that rig 2 years ago. Okay?
Right,
like,
right.
It's fine. And if it's not, I just didn't want to. There was no reason for me to call the insurance company and order another pump. I have 2 at home.
Right.
Why would I order a third one?
Exactly.
I'm not wasting the money of the insurance company.
No.
Who cares?
Right.
And so she brought me the hospital pump, like, whatever. So then she comes back the day that they're telling us they might be taking Grady to Wellington. And so she comes in, the neonatologist is there, like, lady, I'm
Not
sorry, but know your pay grade, okay?
Right,
like,
right.
This lady not only has gone to medical school, she specializes in neonatology.
Right.
You're the lactation specialist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sit down. Stay in your lane.
Exactly. Like, she's talking to us about the life and death of our baby.
Right.
And she's like, well, I need to know what is going on. I was like, I thought Jason was going to tell her, like, get out of here.
Wow.
Like, you need to go. Like, this is not a place for you.
Wow.
It was crazy. The neonatologist backed down. And I was like, what? Like, Jason and I are a mess.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever she said to me, I don't remember what she said.
Yeah.
Because I'm not listening to you. I'm like, Jason and I are emotional. We don't know what's about to happen in our lives, This is not the time or place for you to be here. Get out.
Yeah.
She should have known better. But she didn't. I was like, I can't with this woman. And we got a thank you card from the hospital signed by all the nurses and by that crazy bitch with her phone number in case we needed her for anything. I was like,
why don't you call her and have her on the podcast? I'm like, why did you antagonize my girl? Like, what's up with that? And let's be honest, we could totally take her through the ringers. Oh, let's do it.
Like, I was like, what is wrong with you? And so we had the same issue at Martin. Mm-hmm. And I knew going in it was going to be tough. And I told Jason, like, this is what I want to do. Like, you have to stand behind me because it gets crazy with these people.
Yeah, they do.
And so he had my back the whole time. Like, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. Making sure that he did, like, whatever Tricia wants. Like, knowing that he knows what I want.
Yeah.
I was so mad.
Well, I brought the can of formula with me
Oh,
that they sent me. Somehow I got a can of formula.
Like, they send you this package, yes.
They sent me, like, the high density, no brain tumors ever, beyond death, like, thing, So, of course, I was like, great idea. Let's just bring that with us. Of course, when I went to go get a new can, it was like $40.
Right.
But that's how they roped me in.
Right.
But you don't want to switch your baby's formula.
Right.
I had mine in my bag. And I remember her coming in, and I tried. She just couldn't latch on.
Reagan wouldn't latch. He latched right away. He was good to go.
He got it, yeah.
When I got him back from the NICU, he wouldn't latch anymore. And he's tongue-tied. So breastfeeding is harder for him. Why would I take him?
He's tongue-tied.
Yeah, so that
yeah,
is too far up. So it's harder for him.
Gotcha.
And as long as his tongue goes past his lip, there's nothing medically we have to do. It just would have made breastfeeding long-term harder for him. I'm not going to take him to an ENT to cut it.
No.
So he can breastfeed when I can easily give him a bottle of breast milk.
Right. It's the same thing.
Oh my God, my pediatrician's like, what difference does it make? It's breast milk. Who cares? She's like, if it's formula, it's formula. Like, your baby's fine.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. I remember when she was telling me, she was like, you need to make your baby latch. I'm like, she's not latching. And I said, get that can and stick it right here because I need a bottle to give me some water.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you right now, my ninnies hurt.
Yeah.
They're cracking. She's like, you got to put Vaseline or whatever lotion they give you.
Late whatever it is.
Get out of here with that. They're burning.
Yeah.
I need somebody to suck on them.
Yeah.
Because they hurt.
Well, that's what the lady that when I had Reagan was like, well, anything that's worthwhile, it maybe take a while and take it's hard work and it's going to be painful. I'm like, Get out of town, lady.
Listen.
I just birthed this baby. That was hard work. Okay?
That's it. I am pretty sure I'm not going to lose any brownie points if I don't breastfeed my baby right now.
I was just like,
they're
crazy.
They must, we have to, like, do they have a school to be crazy?
That's what Jason said. Do they have, like, you got to go to some crazy lactation school or something?
It's the underground world of breastfeeding moms, and they're the cult leaders. I'm telling you.
Good for y'all. If you want to, I don't care. Breastfeed. Good for you. But you know what? Don't snub your nose at me because I pump it and give it to my baby in a bottle.
Those are the same moms who are not, or the same people who are also supporting not vaccinating your children.
True.
It's that whole underground world of craziness.
I was just like, man, lady, like, she said, let me educate you. And I was like,
oh, hell no.
Listen, lady, I don't know how my other two kids are alive.
Yeah. But thank
how'd
you.
they make
Please
it?
sit here and educate me.
My first one was formula almost only. I mean, I think I pumped with Gavin until he was like 8 weeks old, and I just couldn't do it anymore. My pump, like, just whatever. I had rented a pump. Like, back in the day, you did not get these nice pumps like you get now.
No.
So I'd rented, like, this one. It looked like I was carrying around, like, a cassette player with me or whatever. And I didn't know that you could change, like, the filters on them. And so I just thought I had dried up or whatever. So I stopped, and he went to formula. He's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they actually changed, I think it was with Obamacare, because when I was doing the mastectomy business, they actually approached me about adding that to our product line, the pumps. Mm-hmm. And there's electric and there's manual pumps.
Yeah.
And insurance companies reimburse based, and
What
they
would you
allow
with
one
manual?
every, I don't know, but they cost less, like the copay's less for the patient. And they give you a new one every 2 years and or births, depending on whatever comes first. You know,
you're still pumping
I know.
2 years. God, good for you.
I know. But the crazy thing is I think that they started doing that maybe 2000, maybe 10 or 11 or something.
It was after we
way
had
after.
Kids.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, my pump that I ordered through insurance, like, I got in like a travel bag because I knew I had to go back to work and I had to bring this thing, and so we paid $45 or something. But I could have just gotten the pump and it would have been nothing. I paid the upgrade for the bag that it came in because it sits, like, you unzip the outside of the bag and the pump, everything you need for the pump is right there.
Nice.
It was really nice for travel. I use it in the car.
Nice.
So, and then my girlfriend gave me her pump that she had gotten from insurance because she was, her daughter's a few months older than Reagan, but she just was like, I'm not using it. So she gave me her pump, so I have one permanent one by the nightstand, and then I have the travel one.
Nice.
Works out really, really well.
It does work out.
And why would I call my insurance company for another one?
Right, because you're just, somehow, some way, the cost is going to be passed on to someone.
I did look for, they have ones that, like, just sit, and they don't have any tubes, and they're battery operated. You can, like, I could be pumping right now, and you wouldn't know. Like, $400. Girl, let me just tell you, you gave me crap about my SNOO.
Your SNOO. Oh, yeah. The high dollar
bassinet
bed in there.
You know what? Our friend Megan, she's like, you got the Bentley of bassinets.
See?
But she was jealous. She was like, you know.
It was only a $4,000 bed you had to finance.
It was not. It was a $1,200 bed that we got.
$1,200, $4,000.
We got for $700. We got for $700. Resale on it is $600.
And he's sleeping like a baby in it.
Oh my God, it's amazing. Kim, I lay him down and he's fussy.
Listen.
I lock him in. It comes on, and you just see his body relax.
You could have rented me, and he slept on me for 2 hours with my hot body.
Girl.
I was sweating. He
How
liked
you
the
gonna
sweat.
sleep at night?
I can rip my body. No, I'll sleep in Grampy's chair. Straight. I'm no different than sleeping in the camper. I sleep with James when we have Taylor, and I'm like all over I don't have a home.
Do you sleep in Taylor's bed when she's
I
not
do.
there?
I do. In the
That's
sleep
nice.
number bed, James was he was so cute this morning because we had that sleep. We haven't found our number.
No.
I was 55 one night, 30 the next. I can't find my number. So because the bed is a queen, so we're trying to figure it out. So James said this morning, he was like, you know, when you're not in the bed, it creates this hole because like typically we're together. Because we're snug.
Sweet.
But he said there's a hole. He's like, I didn't get a good night's sleep because there's like a hole. I'm like, oh, so you need me to be in the bed so there's no hole.
See?
You're not
Very
saying because you
sweet.
miss me.
That's sweet.
I said, you need to find the number on the other side. Pump it up. I said, what's your number at? I think his number is 50, and I think mine's on 30. We're going to find our number. I don't know.
Grampy's going to come out one night in the middle of the night to sleep in his chair, and you're going to be there. Okay. Sorry, you should have got here sooner.
Tricia called me. She said he wanted to sleep, and I had to come here, and I haven't slept in 4 days.
Sorry, you should have got here early. Spot's taken.
That's it. There's not enough melatonin in this world to knock me out, so I think I'm going to have to be a sleepwalker. I've had to I've gotten up and taken NyQuil. just to kind of knock me out. Gotcha. But it's, you know, unfamiliar places, you know, but yeah, Taylor has like oodles and boodles of blankets, and it gets very hot, so I haven't found my blanket, you know,
situation yet. And,
I'm working on it. I'm alive. That's all that matters. Aww. We'll get there. We'll get there.
It took us a while. We moved in here, like, to figure out, like, the airflow was different coming over us, right? And everything was kind of different. And to figure out, like, if I put socks on and have pants on, I just need a sheet and I can stick my leg out. Do I need a blanket?
Right.
Like, you know, just
like you can hear the AC here.
Yeah.
Typically you can in a home, and so we have two, right? So I can, in Taylor's room, it's like sound like there could be a bomb going off outside. You wouldn't know because all you hear is that. And I told Taylor that's the benefit because it drowns out, you know, because they're paper thin, whatever's going on out there.
You don't know about the neighbors who've been partying all night.
Not a clue. So that's perfect. But then the other side, you know, it's different. Like you said, the airflow. It's all the setup. And I think once, you know, it's just different. It's like sleeping in a hotel room for your first night, you know. Then you kind of get into a mojo.
Although you get a good hotel room,
like a Marriott bed. Girl, you know what I would do for a Marriott bed right now?
Girl, Jason and I sleep on a full size bed, right? We go to the Marriott and get a king size bed. And we're so used to both sleeping like on the edge of the bed because there's no bed space. So you get a king size bed. There's like room for 4 people in the middle now.
Shoot, if we go to get a hotel room in the Marriott, we're gonna get separate beds. You stay there. Love you. You stay here. Exactly. So you guys are sleeping in a full, and I'm bitching about a queen.
Yeah, we're in a full.
Oh my god.
And that poor man, when I had my pregnancy pillow,
girl,
like he was sleeping on the edge of the bed.
Was a full.
Yeah, it's a full.
Dang, we're sleeping in a queen. I mean, there's like a little bit of like. No, there really isn't. I was going to say there's a little... No, when we're both on our back, we're smack up next to each other. That's cute you said about the whole thing. I just now realized. I was like, oh, that's right. My body's missing, and now I'm at a 35, my crater, and you need to be at a 50. Okay.
We one time we went and stayed up with Luke and Steph, and in one of their guest rooms has 2 twin beds. And...
You put them together.
We didn't put them together but we slept in the same twin bed.
What the hell's wrong with you? It's okay. You can do it one night. It's fine.
We weren't married yet.
Oh, okay. So you were okay. Now you would. When you're not married, you're like, oh, let's do this.
And when they felt so bad, they're like, why did you put? Like, it's all right. Like, we're not gonna move furniture in your house, you know, and like it's okay. At the time we would sleep almost like attached to each other at night, even in our king size bed. So
gross.
It was. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you asked me tonight to sleep in a twin size bed with him, or 2 separate beds, I would opt for separate. But I'm still in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Not in a lot of pain. We'd probably still sleep in the same bed.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh, not me. Any chance I get, just because it's just not comfortable. In our bed that we have in the storage unit, A-okay.
Right.
Perfect. Just put 2 fatties and a queen size bed, sleep number bed, and your feet's hanging off. It just doesn't end well. And then you got 2 dogs that want to get on the bed.
Oh God, no.
And the bed doesn't have a box spring, but it has. I mean, it just has the mattress.
It's on like a platform.
But I don't think the box spring really makes much of a difference.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. So, but yeah, so we may be moving in Taylor's mattress. We might have to do some adjustments. So, but
oh boy,
it's been good getting to see you, get to have an actual beer with you. We had 2. Oh my goodness!
I got a little buzz.
Did you get a little buzz?
Of course
You're a cheap date. That's all. I could have brought us. I could have brought us a 6-pack, and I could have got. Drink the other 2.
Exactly.
Make sure you enjoy your pub sub. I did get you an ultimate.
I'm so excited. I cannot wait. Like,
I just did mayo.
Jimmy John's the other day. Oh
did
my God.
Diarrhea.
No, did I tell you the story about my sandwich in the hospital?
No.
Oh my God, Kim. So they had really good food there, right? You just called it up and it was good. Well, I was like, I don't want anything too heavy, and you could get a sandwich. So I was like, I'm going to get ham and cheese. Like, keep it simple.
Yeah.
You know, ham and cheese on white bread, lettuce, tomato. It gets there. Ain't no ham on my sandwich.
Oh, hell no. It's just cheese?
Yes! I was like, I've been eating cheese sandwiches for 10 months. Like, who played this joke on me?
Was it Kraft at least?
I was like, who played this joke on me? Like, are you kidding me? I can finally have a ham sandwich. And I was like, and it was so sad looking, like the sandwich. It wasn't even, I was like.
It wasn't even an attractive sandwich.
No, and I was to Jason, I probably had like sad eyes, like the disappointment. So he called food services. And she's like, oh. Yeah, sorry, your ham is sitting here. Like, we'll be right up. And I was like, okay. They brought me a fresh sandwich. I was like, I would have just taken the ham. Like, you don't have to make me a whole sandwich.
Throw me some
this
ham.
Pig on here. I was like, what kind of joke is this? Who called you and told you not to give me the ham?
I've been waiting for this for 9 months. Are you crazy? Well, I did bring you your Publix Sub, so hopefully you'll get to enjoy your Publix Sub. Hopefully it was better than the one that I brought you when you were in the hospital with Reagan.
It's going to be amazing.
I went to a different Publix. It was the one on 76.
Okay, yeah.
Before I had to go do the welfare check. So, it was right there in that area. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining us this week, and we're definitely looking forward to chatting with you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.